Hi,
It
welcome to the
happens
Chosen Few
because
Expat Show. I'm Alonzo. Today we have with us two special guests who have been expats in Panama for over 10 years. So this is going to be an enjoyable show for you. You're going to gain a lot of experience from these ladies, and they're going to tell you about a very, very special project and charity that they're a part of. And so let's welcome Linda Bronson and Ruth Rivera to the show. Hello, ladies. Glad to see
Hi.
you all. It's been a long
hello.
time coming,
Hi.
and we are glad to have you all here. So, with that, let's just jump right into it. So, please tell us a little bit about yourselves and your background. We're going to start with Linda.
All right. Thank you for having us. And it's always a pleasure to meet up with Alonzo and his beautiful wife, Shanae. However, I came to Panama and in 2012, I had been 9 months prior to that in Costa Rica. I found Panama to be a much warmer, not only climate, but warmer socially. Here it's more community than in Costa Rica. Costa Rica was kind of closed. And so enjoying the life here in Panama, what made me move here was I wanted to retire abroad or at least away from the States. And this met all of my little check boxes: the weather, the financial situation, the living accommodations, the childhood dream of living on the beach is reality here, um, and those sorts of things. That was really great for me. So that's kind of what caused me to move here.
Okay, great. So, with that, Ruth, you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and
Okay, well, first of all, I was born in Puerto Rico, but I left there when I was 6 years old and moved around the United States quite a bit until I was 15. Landed in Seattle, and I was there for a long time, 48 years. And then I moved to Houston. My background in Seattle was with the Seattle Times in communications. I was a middle manager, handling a small um, department. Then when I moved to Houston, I sold furniture, believe it or not. It was very interesting. I met a Panamanian family while I was selling furniture, and they told me about Panama. And that was about the time I was deciding I needed to find a place to go. And so Panama hit the spot. Anyway, I brought myself and me.
yeah, that's great. That's great. So you all kind of touched on it a little bit, but my next question was about what led to your decision to become an expat. So y'all did talk about, coming to Panama and moving to Panama, but what put you on that path of wanting to become an expat and leave the United States?
Well, basically, for me, it was an economical situation. In the United States, the cost of living was becoming astronomical, and the retirement funds that I would be receiving would soon be hit the poverty level. And here, I live my basic lifestyle that I've always lived. And in the United States, it's just not possible. So that had a lot to do with it. And of course, then you throw in the weather and the lack of horrible storms and great people, community environment. All of that came together and it's like, yes, this works. So what led my decision was the economics in the United States. The way I feel about it, I was forced out of the land that I was born in.
Yeah, so you saw it as more of a forcing out than a choice. It's like something that you had to do it. You pretty much left you no
Oh
choice.
no, I had to do
You had to look for some other
it.
options. Yeah, yeah, I understand that.
Let's say it like this. That part of it was like the icing on the cake. I already knew I wanted out. But then when I started looking at the economical part of it, it was like that's the icing on the cake. Let's do it.
Ruth, how about for you?
Well, for me, it was a little bit different. I was approaching my 70s and I was getting tired. This was my, time to start trying to figure out where am I going to be. I knew I couldn't afford to live in the United States in the way I was accustomed to living. So when these customers came in and mentioned I hadn't been looking at Panama, I looked at Costa Rica and Belize and Cuenca, Ecuador, but it just wasn't there. And so when they came in and talked about Panama, I said, oh, okay, it was checking off everything. Because the main thing for me was I did not want the color of my skin to be an issue. And so I cleared that one first. And then the Spanish language was a real plus because that's my native tongue. Um, I don't do good with numbers. So not having to deal with currency exchange was really excellent. Year-round heat, wow, yes, I like that. And then when I heard that there were no hurricanes, I was like, okay, I'm sold. That did it.
Right, right. You know what's so interesting? Like after knowing you for all of these years and knowing you're from Puerto Rico, it's so interesting. Like I still never heard you speak a single word of Spanish. It just for some reason it gets lost upon me that you are from Puerto Rico. So next time I see you, I'm just gonna roll up on you and start speaking Spanish just right off the top.
Okay,
So
muy
yeah, so
bien,
be
muy
ready.
bien.
Be ready for me. Be ready for me. So the next question I have for you all is, what if you can share it's been a couple of your best or most surprising experiences as an expat in Panama. This could be something on the positive or the negative side or both. So,
Hmm.
Linda.
Um, let's see. I would say my experience when I got here was discovering that in Panama, people, if you walk by somebody and you smile and you speak, they smile and speak back. They don't look at you like, what do you want and who are you? In
Right.
the United States, if you smile at people, they're looking at you like, what are you smiling at me for? That kind of attitude and what have you. And it was just a pleasant um, transition for me. Um, I think the main thing was knowing and coming here that it's going to be different, so expect it and embrace it.
That's the good thing right there. Yep, just embrace it. It is a different
Hmm.
culture. And it's not your home country, so that's like people need to kind of come with that in mind. Too many times
Right.
as Americans in our culture, people are kind of aggressive and dominant. So you
Yep.
just gotta learn to lay back a little bit, and this is not the United States. So you gotta be, flexible. But
Yes.
how about for
Yes.
you? Mhm.
We
Well,
pretty much
for
guessed
me,
here.
the most surprising thing for me in a good way was interaction with the police department. Um, there are so many stories that, I had under my belt from not my own personal encounters necessarily, but everybody else's encounters with the US police. And when I came here, I got stopped for speeding. And I was so, so surprised at how gentle and kind and understanding and just nice the police were. I was like,
Yeah,
whoa.
yeah, it is pretty unbelievable.
He didn't drag me out of the car and point a gun at me. He just talked to me and we talked and we resolved my issue with speeding.
Right. Yeah, just focused on the issue and that's it.
Exactly. So I love that about Panama. I love that. And the people are just so warm and always willing to help. I drop something and somebody immediately picks it up and hands it to me. You walk away from your purse and somebody brings it to you. It's like, whoa, really? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, it's
wonderful.
pretty wild. Yeah, it's interesting when you're talking about the police, you made me think about, I mentioned this in another video. One thing that kind of got me or surprised me was just the difference in how you are stopped for a traffic stop. So for those who don't know, in
Hmm.
Panama, the speed limits are generally going to be a lot lower. So even on the main highways, it may be 80 kilometers an hour, or usually 60 in residential areas. So it may be like about 42-ish miles per hour. So you're not going very fast to be speeding. But the police will step out into the middle of the road. They will point at you and they be like, hey, you pull over. And you be like, me.
Yeah.
And so because you aren't driving fast, you do have time to be able to brake and pull over. And then, you pull over, you back up to where they are. And, then the conversation starts. So it's not like in the States where they laying in the weeds, they're going to pull out, they're going to chase you and put the lights on and pull you over. So that right there is a totally different experience.
Yes, it is.
With the police. It's just on top of them being very nice. So with that, what inspired you all to start El Proyecto Fenix? And can you tell us about it and what inspired you all to start it? Whichever one of you all want to
I'm having
take it.
technical difficulty.
Okay,
Right.
well, Ruth, I think you got it until Linda comes back. You can.
Oh, well, actually, the El Proyecto Phoenix started because Linda was given a vision from the Lord that she was to start this.
Oh, excellent.
And she, being her best friend, of course, she came to me and she told me about it. And she said, she didn't ask me if I wanted to help her. She just assumed that I would. And she assumed correctly, of course, that I would. And
Yes.
so that was the beginning of it. And we both have a passion for helping people who are less fortunate. We both felt that, we live in this country and we live so well. And as we looked around, we saw so much poverty and people who were not doing very well. And we thought, wow, there's an imbalance here that needs to be fixed. And so the mission became elevate the lives of the neediest Panamanian families. And that's what we are attempting to do. It's a daunting, daunting project, but we are determined that it will be done with the help of everybody in the community and elsewhere.
Right. So I think, with that, you all have, so Linda, do we have you back?
Yeah, you just got me back.
Okay, so the question was, what inspired you all to start El Proyecto Phoenix? And Ruth was telling us a little bit about, about your vision and you having a calling from on high to do this. So I don't know if you may want to add a little bit on to that, you know, for the folks on how you were inspired to start this.
Basically, looking at the fact that, we're here. I went out with another charity group on a couple of occasions, and what they did was they went out, they bought food, they took it to the people, and then they turned around the next week and did the very same thing for the very same people. And my question at that point was, why are you not teaching these people to fish? Why are you continuing to take them fish?
Yeah.
And they had no response. And my thought was, so you're creating dependency within this country. That's not help, that's dependency. And that's a pet peeve of mine. If I can show you how to get your own fish, then you'll never have a need to ask me for a fish again. And that also does something for the individual, and that is to give them that bit of self-esteem and encouragement that they need to be self-sustained. It gives them that I can spirit, and they know that they can because they did it. So that was a
That's
lot of
excellent.
what El Proyecto Phoenix was really screaming out to me, and looking at the fact that poverty can be eradicated if we, the
Yeah.
community, determine to eradicate it. We can, but it takes all of us working together.
Yes. So let's see where I was going to go next here. So you all have like a variety of fundraisers going on. I know you had one where we had, I can't remember exactly what you called it. I called it like a yard sale, or the sale we had in
Oh,
Gorgona Park.
yeah,
So I know
that
you
was
have,
amazing.
yeah.
We
Tell
had
us a little bit
we
about
had
that.
we had received a lot of donations to the point that we had to get a second storage unit, and we said, okay, we got to do something with all of these donated goods. And so Ruth said, why don't we just do a garage sale? And I'm thinking, garage sale? We don't have a garage. She said, well, we call it that, but it's really like a garage yard sale. Okay. And we came up with the idea of having the people that are part of El Proyecto Phoenix and other people in the community that, may not have the money. We had them come out and volunteer to assist us in setting up the garage sale. And for that, we gave them tickets for every hour that they worked that had an equivalency, a dollar equivalency, and they used that to purchase things. I'll let Ruth take it from there.
Oh, okay.
Well, it was amazing. One of the things that I thought was excellent about it was that the people were in the community were able to acquire things that they otherwise would not be able to afford. So that was just really, that made us feel good, really good.
Yep.
And it was a happy day. It was a very happy day. We got rained out ultimately, but but we had a good part of the day
Oh
was
yeah. Oh
dry.
yeah.
But yeah, yeah. And we plan to do it
Yeah. I know
again.
all about the rain out. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, you sure it was a fun event. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a fun event. I know y'all had the popcorn machine out there with the popcorn, and the kids were loving that. And yeah, I know about the rain out because I was up there for a couple of hours and left and came back. So let me go back up here and check on the ladies, see how everything's going. I came up there like it was all cleared out, like
Yeah, it was.
we all was gone.
It got ugly at the end there. The rain
But
was
you,
just really pouring.
yeah, but yeah, it sold a lot even before that. I think you probably would have been winding down anyway,
Yeah,
because
that's
stuff was
true.
moving.
That's true.
Yeah, it was moving pretty quickly.
And we're going to do it again
So
this coming summer.
yeah, that's good. So tell us a little bit about your El Proyecto Phoenix Imagine It fundraiser. This is your big annual fundraiser that's coming up here. So tell folks a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
Okay, I'm happy to talk about that. I'm all in. This is the third annual Imagine It fundraiser, and it's December 11th at the Coronado Luxury Suites in the Bahia Serena room. This is where we've had it the last 2 years. And it is an evening of not just fun, but dancing, great food, getting together with people that you may or may not know, meeting new people and enjoying those that you do know. There'll be a 60/40 raffle, a silent auction, and we have another little surprise coming that we're going to introduce that night as well, for a way of people to participate in, support the program, and also get something out of it for themselves. So it is from 5:30 until 11 p.m. It's a Wednesday evening, so there's nothing else going on really, and people should be able to participate. There are two levels of participation this year. The first level is general admission, which is $75, and it includes a buffet meal and everything else, music, dancing. And then we added a second level. It's called a VIP. And the VIP is $125 per person. It's a table for 8 people instead of 9. It's a little more elbow room. The meal will be served at the table for those people. And that it also includes 4 drinks for each person. So it's the kind
In other
of
words,
event,
at the
if you like
table.
to go and you don't want to be in a line trying to get your food, you like service, this is for you. The VIP tables. We like to have a little elegance attached to it, and the band is Grupo Mambos, which is like off the chart popular. They play everything, including salsa, and they do American music, and they do Colombian music. Anyway, they're really quite spectacular. So we're really excited to have them back. They played for us last year and really brought the house down.
Oh yeah, that's amazing. So now we're gonna take a pause right here and want to show show the folks one of your ads for the Imagine It fundraiser. So let's take a look. So yeah, so that was an ad for the Imagine It fundraiser. That's coming up here. So ladies did a great job, on the ad there. And so how can our subscribers contact you all? If they want more information on El Proyecto Phoenix or to help out and make a donation, how can they contact you all?
Well, there's two methods on our website, which is www.elproyectofenix.com. That's our website. The other is via email, which would be info@elproyectofenix.com. I'm sorry. Yeah. Info@elproyectofenix.com. That's the
So
email.
do I have the website right here?
Okay.
Ruth, since you're looking more at the screen there, is elproyectofenix.com for the website.
Correct. Yes,
Is that correct?
www. Yes. Mhm.
Okay. Yep. Yep. Okay. And again, Linda, if you can provide the email.
Okay.
Can you give me the email address again?
info@elproyectofenix.com.
Okay. All right. Let me get
And
that in.
lastly, okay.
Now go ahead.
Oh, and lastly, the phone number, which is WhatsApp. Um, those that are here, well, anyway, on WhatsApp, it's plus 507 6161 6787.
Okay. So let's see. That is the phone number there. Plus 507-616-16787. That's
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
correct.
That's correct.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so that's how you all out there can contact Linda and Ruth and help out with the project. You don't have to be here. You can do that right now. From off these
Absolutely.
shores. But then once you get here, you can also still contact them to see what they need some help with and volunteer and help out.
That'd be
And
great.
so, with that, ladies, do you have any advice for our subscribers and online course students about becoming an expat in Panama? Just maybe one or two things for people you think back to when you first came, and just a couple of pieces of advice you would give folks.
I would say number one, I said it earlier, don't try to bring home here. Come here and embrace the new experience. If you do that, you'll have more success being here than not. The other thing is um, towards success is leave all that stress behind. Those are the two main things that I would say to anybody moving here. I've
Mm.
seen new people come here, and you can see that they're still in that U.S. mode where everything's got to be hurry, hurry, let's get it done, let's get it done. But here, you would just frustrate yourself. So don't do that. You came here to get away from it. Get away from it.
Mm, mhm. Yes,
Excellent advice.
yes.
Yep. And Ruth, anything to add?
Relax, 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 enjoy, try to learn the language, even if it's
Yes.
just a little bit, because the natives really appreciate the fact that you try to learn their language rather than expect them to know your language. This is a
Oh,
Spanish
yes.
speaking country, so you can't come here expecting people to know how to speak English. Learn the language if you can. If you can't, that's fine. They will be very nice and they will help you along every inch of the way. Trust me. Even I, as a Spanish speaker, had a different dialect being from Puerto Rico, and I had difficulty at first when I got here. But I pursued, learning, picking up their dialect so that I could be more fluent. And it's a learning experience. Every day I learn new words.
Yes,
So,
I'm sure. Because hey, listen, it is an adjustment. I'm sure it was even for you. That's interesting to hear as a Spanish speaker because hey, los
mhm.
panameños hablan muy rápido. They speak
They
fast
do.
and they truncate words, chop off words, abbreviate words.
Exactly.
So you have to learn. You have to learn all of that kind of on the fly. But
Exactly.
those are some great pieces of advice, ladies. We want to remind everyone out there again about the website elproyectofenix.com, so that you all can contact Linda and Ruth and make a contribution should you choose or volunteer your time once you're here. Also, a reminder about our website, which is PanamaRelocationOnlineCourses.com, for information about our products and services, and also our Facebook group, which is Panama Relocation and Expat Experience. Please join us on Facebook, where you can find these ladies and other expats and a lot of other folks are there waiting to help you out and give you all some great advice. And so,
Absolutely.
with that, ladies, I want to thank you all very much for joining us today. I'm glad we were finally able to do this. And Linda, it looked like you maybe have one thing to add before we close out. So go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say that for all the new people that are here, you want to come to the benefit. You want to meet people, you want to meet people in a really cool social environment. That's the place to come.
Yeah, that's right. And as Bruce said, it's on a Wednesday, so Wednesday should be nice and free and clear. You know, um,
Hmm.
for most folks, it's not, on the weekend. Sometimes you're on the move, you're traveling, you're here, you're there, but Wednesday. So I think that was a good move, lady, to move it to Wednesday. So you guys should have a very good turnout as usual, excellent turnout as usual.
We're
But
believing for it.
We hope
oh yeah,
so.
oh yeah. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. We really appreciate your time and your knowledge. And we're looking forward to the event. Looking forward to continuing to help out with the El Proyecto Phoenix. And see you both soon.
All right.
Okay.
And
Thank
thanks
you,
for having
Alonzo,
us.
very much. We
Okay.
appreciate you.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay.